Bam! I have a feeling this camera's not pointed at me. I just get that feeling. How would I ensure that the camera's pointed at me? By pointing it at me. Kind of don't know what I want to talk about. It's not like I don't know, it's that I have like 7 different things in my head. It's hard to narrow down which one I want to talk about. So I'll probably just rant for the entire time and not talk about one. No, I got all these ideas. The problem is this lacks structure. I need some structure here. I like the format. Get like one big video and some small videos that kind of lead up to it. The problem is the little videos are usually snippets that I pull out of the main video that are just fun. I don't know if you want something fun or something that like matches the topic. And my mind is just thinking today. It's just thinking, it's just running. I like the structure, I like the format. I want to try something different though. Like it's here. I don't know if it would be any different later in the day, or maybe can't really do earlier. I guess I could. Let's back up here. Let's think about this through. Or let's think this through. I apparently can't talk either. I want to do something regular. We know that. Like as in regularity, a frequency, an often kind of deal. I do drive once a week, 5 times at least in my commuting to work. Whatever it has to do, it needs to be kind of diverse because I have many different interests and I will get bored if we don't go to a different one. And if I'm bored, you're bored, and that's not good. You know what? I just got an idea. I'm gonna release a YouTube poll. Yep, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna release it today. You know, I actually do I like the little question polls where you can just pick one. And when I see them, I have a subconscious obligation to click one every time. We'll at least click one. I am completely forgetting what I'm talking about. Like every other sentence when I'm trying to finish something. Let me tell you what's going on in my head right now. Like this is why I'm currently forgetting something. This is what's just rolling through my head. Canon just released a camera called the C400. It's got like triple base ISO, which is impressive. It's 6K. I want to see some of those features. That's a thing. I was playing games last night with a couple of my friends. I'm like, man, there is a lot of games out there that nobody really knows about. And there are some big ones that everyone knows about, but yet I just haven't played them. And they're pretty fun. And I'm like, man, what should we do to change the way games are, or why is it fun, and what makes it a fun game? And there's seasons, and many seasons change. This is Stardew Valley, by the way, and it just makes it different. That's one thing, and another thing. And then I'm also writing a cartoon pilot, first series, and I want to pitch that to Netflix. And in order to do that, there are many hoops to jump through, many, but that's not going to stop me because I think it's worth it. But I got to finish it first. Like, do I just pitch the script? I'm probably going to make the pilot. I got to do that because no one's going to understand what I'm talking about. It's a consistent show. It's a consistent feel. It's not like all of my ideas that are sporadic. And also, all of that is given I can finish it. I have been known to, only on personal projects, I've been known on personal projects to start something and get distracted and put it aside. You know, schoolwork, when I was in school, or work, it always seems to get done. It's a deadline outside of myself, but for whatever reason, a lot of my personal projects don't get done. They can get done. I shouldn't say they can't. Then I'm thinking of lav mics over here that I gotta do, and the stuff I gotta do in the day, and you know, the adulting things, and so all those things are in my head. I'm like, how am I supposed to not get distracted when all those things are in my head? I got to a point where a little earlier this year, I got to a point where there was a day I was just really stressed. Man, this guy looks like a guy that I know. No, it's different. He's got a really nice car. So I was really stressed, and I was like, man, I got like 1,000 things to do. So here's how I handled that situation. I got a piece of paper, and then I drew a little checkbox, a list of everything I had to do, everything I wanted to do, everything I needed to do, something that was on my mind. I just completely mind dumped on the piece of paper. So what I was left with was a large list of things that I had to do. Then I I had gone through each one of those items, and next to each item, I basically gave them a priority. I said, hey, when do I need this to get done? Is this like a top tier, low tier? Give a little star, exclamation point, something where I went, yes, this will be done today. This will be done probably soonish, and this is just a want. And when you get down and look at it, and you see all these different like priority lists, you just look at your main priority list and you go, oh, I'm only really needing to do 2 or 3 things today. And then you look at like your expanded list and you go, okay, well, I'm only needing to do these things in the next couple of days. And then the other things I don't need to do at all. I just wanted to do them. I got it all out on a piece of paper. Then what I did was I took a nap. I completely forgot about everything that I was wanting to do intentionally. And then if something else came to my mind while I was napping, go ahead, interrupt yourself, wake back up, write it down, go back to sleep until you can at least get a solid little nap in. And then you wake up and it's like a new day. And like, wow, man, I feel pretty great. I wasn't thinking about anything. Because if you're thinking about it, it's not going to work. You need to write the stuff down that you need to remember or think about so that you don't have to think about it. Your mind's holding on to it because it thinks that it has to hold on to it. So if you tell your mind, you don't have to hold on to it, it's on this piece of paper, it's okay, then your mind is like content with not memorizing it. That's like when you have a phone number in your phone. You could memorize it if you didn't have a spot for it. But since you know it's in your phone, your mind's probably less likely to remember it. Although there are some of you out there that just can remember long strings of random numbers and things. I can't even remember somebody's name half the time. I'm real bad at names. It's not personal. I don't know, it takes me a little while. I'm a slow guy, all right? So if you get to a spot where you're like, you know, I'm feeling pretty stressed, I'm feeling like I've got 1,000 things to do, I promise you don't have 1,000 things to do. Because I thought I did, and I only filled up like 1 page, which is not 1,000 things. It's still a lot. So if you're feeling stressed, make a list of everything you want to do, you need to do, have to do, all the lists of things that are in your head, and then prioritize them with this is what I have to do, this is what I need to do, this is what I want to do in like a day-to-day basis. So here's my today, here's my week, and here's my rest, the leftovers. Then you forget about it. It's written down, you take a nap, you wake back up, and you look at that piece of paper, and then you just do the stuff you have to do for the day, and you'll feel like a whole lot better. It works for me. I don't do it all the time, but that's a little tip. Of course, if you wanted to, you could just sit there, and you could roll around like a frying donut. Sit there and roll around like a frying donut, just mustering up all that anxiety of, I've got to do this, I got to do this, I got to do that. Checklist, I'm telling you. Spreadsheets and checklists save lives. I don't follow checklists all the time. They're not that great. I use them every now and then and forget how useful they can be. It's a tool. It's a tool, just like anything else. Of course, if your life is out of order, if it's all wacko, and you're missing your priorities and you're missing your important things, I would expect that you would be a very anxious person. I heard a guy talking about anxiety, and he was saying, and they call it anxiety disorder, and that's because your life is disordered. Your priorities are wrong. Your motivations are wrong. There are things that are out of order, and it's causing you to worry. So reevaluate yourself, figure out what in the world you're stressing about, put those things back in order, and I bet it's a whole lot better. I'll tell you a little secret tip. This is a little secret tip. The Bible has a lot of answers. I'm just saying. That's just a little secret tip. Just a secret tip. I know. Some of you guys are not gonna like hearing that, but remember, you've gotten to the end of your rope. When you've thrown your hands up and you don't know, just saying, you might wanna check that book out. It's got a lot of good stuff. So I'm basically running out of time. I'm like almost done with this here. Did I talk about anything that I wanted to talk about? No. I mean, I said it real quick. Checked it off the list. Maybe this is the application. Maybe that is. You see what I did there? I just talked about it. Let me sum it up in something that will hopefully be helpful. Maybe that's the good part. I didn't even plan that. It just kind of happened. That's my charge to you. One of these days, either today or sometime, especially when you're feeling stressed, I want you to try it. I want you to just make a list, put everything in your head on there, prioritize what you need to do, want to do, all the things, and then take a nap. Come right back at it after that nap. I'm telling you, naps do wonders. If you do it, if you try it, and it works, it's helpful, let me know. I want to know. And if it's not, and it's the worst thing possible, and you're like, I can't do it, I have 1,000 things, I had 1,001, Carson, you don't understand, then I'm going to go, wow, you really do have a lot to do. And then, I don't know, maybe we could talk about it. Okay, don't be stressed. I love you.